Guys, today we're going to be talking about the speed demon himself, Octane from Apex Legends, and how to play him as a beginner. Let's talk about it. What's up everybody and welcome back to the XVLN Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here. We are doing weekly Apex Legends content. So if you like this video, if you like some of the other videos we just did a Gibraltar guide and we did how to be a better teammate. I will definitely link those videos for you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the new Apex Legends content coming out, and give the video a like if you found value in this video. This is a channel where we talk about the games we play, the lives we live, and how we can look for ways to help each other be better than we were the day before. Better than yesterday is the motto. One stream at a time, one day at a time. So like I said, if you guys feel like you vibe with that, make sure you show this video some love. Very quickly, just so you guys know, I do stream on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 9 p.m. PST. I would love to have you guys by the stream. We've been streaming a ton of Apex Legends content because it's addicting. And so in that, if you guys want to get in some games, whether you want to talk about the meta, if you guys want to talk about how you feel about Season 4, all of that stuff is going to be what happens on stream. So definitely stop by. I would love to see you guys there. But now it's time to get into the video. Let's go. What's up guys, welcome back to another Apex guide. I am just so excited to talk about Octane today. The reason why is because he, even though I'm maining Gibby right now, he is definitely one of my favorite legends. This guy is just completely nuts and I love that about him. He is 100% hype, like all the time. And so we're going to talk about him today. We're going to talk about his abilities, some of his lore, and then how you should be playing Octane as a beginner in Apex Legends. Octavio Silva, the high-speed, adrenaline junkie daredevil we know as Octane in Apex Legends, is a 24-year-old from the planet Samathi in the Outlands star system. The first thing we find out about Octavio Silva is that this dude is bored. He is the heir to be the CEO of Silva Pharmaceuticals, which means this dude probably has a lot of money, or at least his family does, but he doesn't care. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He is bored. And it's funny because we go to one of his voice lines and he says, pick me, pick me, pick me, I'm bored. And even is like, his personality is just like, bro, I don't want the corporate lifestyle. I want to do crazy stuff. So what he ends up doing is he ends up entertaining himself by performing these like death-defying stunts and being a daredevil, the straight speed demon. And then he grabs these videos, he posts holo vids of them for his fans, and it's kind of like YouTube in the future. This guy's posting on YouTube him doing these crazy stunts and people are watching. And so there's this one time where he decides he is gonna set the course record for this nearby gauntlet, which is like this huge challenge. And what he has to do is he has to launch himself across a finish line, the fastest and the farthest, or furthest. And he does it by using a grenade. Dude, this dude's insane. He's absolutely bonkers. So in the midst of him using a grenade to break this record by launching himself across the finish line, he ends up breaking the record, but he also blows off his legs. So if you guys know Octane, you know he has these bionic legs. And the craziest part is he actually refers to this moment where he blew his legs off to break this record, that it was the single greatest day in his life. Wow. So as he lays in triage hours later at the hospital, the doctors are basically like, dude, check it out. There's so much damage done to your legs. You're not going to be able to really be a daredevil anymore. You need to figure something else out. Well, yeah, Octane, yeah, that's not going to happen. So what happens is he hits up his old friend, AJ, who he's known for a long time, and guilts him into basically making him bionic legs. Now, one crazy fact is that Octane actually had the ability to let his normal legs heal and then have his normal legs back, but instead he wanted bionic legs. Crazy. Suddenly, he decided that, you know what, death-defying stunts just weren't enough. They weren't packing the adrenaline punch that he needed, and he decided he was going to join the Apex games, which are in the Outlands star system where he's at. So he wants to be an Apex champion and at the same time do those death-defying stunts, but in the Apex games while he's getting kills. And that's where we have Octavio Silva, known as Octane. So the first things we're going to do is we're actually going to talk about Octane's abilities, which he has Stim, his tactical, Swift Mend, his passive, and Launchpad, his ultimate. Stim is his tactical ability that has a 2-second cooldown, making him move 30% faster for 6 seconds. The problem is when you use this ability, you trade health for speed. Now, if you guys have played Apex before, you guys understand that speed is actually a good trade for your health in many situations. Apex is a very fast battle royale, which means fights are literally over in seconds. A lot of times, speed is actually what wins fights in Apex Legends. It's not having more health. There are so many times where me and my team have won fights because we were faster, whether it was flanking, whether it was surprising, whether it was getting the first shot, but it was actually speed that won the fights, even if we had less health. So using Stim on Octane will actually not kill you. It can't get you all the way down to end up dying, which is pretty cool, but it will take 10% health from when you use it. So if you have more health, you utilize more health to get speed, but if you have less health, you lose less health. Does that make sense? While active, Octane is actually also affected less by all the attacks that cause you to slow down, which can be really huge because that can actually lose you the fight. If you can't get away in time, if you can't switch your position in time, if you can't fire back in time, you most likely are going to lose the fight unless your team comes in with the clutch to save you. So I will say this real quick. Stim is not something that you just want to keep using over and over and over. You need to pay attention to your health. Now, at the same time, speed does win a lot of fights. Health is still very important. There were so many times where you can win a gunfight having literally like 1 health just by outplaying somebody, whether you're moving around, whether you're doing all these different things. So when you go into new areas and you don't know what's going on over there, you don't want to have no health. I see this very often where people use Octane's ability to loot in the beginning and then they're taking off back and forth all over the place trying to grab everything that they can. But then we get into our first fight and they're the first ones dropped. And most of the time it's because half their health is already gone and hasn't regenerated yet because they've just been using stim. So pay attention when you use it. It's perfectly fine to use it. It's a great ability, but just watch it. Let yourself regenerate, and then that's where we talk about your passive, which pairs very well with your tactical, but you have to actually let it work. That passive ability I'm talking about is Swift Mend. Swift Mend is his passive, which automatically restores health over time. He actually has a little dialysis machine on his belt that filters his blood so that he can use these stims and not die and have his health regenerate. It's really interesting. It's actually pretty cool. So because of that, you do restore 1 health every 2 seconds, but check it out. It's 1 health every 2 seconds. There are so many times where people are like, I don't need syringes, I don't need med kits, I'm Octane, I regenerate my health. It's not as fast as you think. This is not like a lifeline situation where you need less syringes or less med kits. Please keep those on you if you're on my team. You still need to use them. If anything, I would recommend keeping more syringes on you for the times that you use stim to kind of counter it quicker so that you're ready every single time you guys rotate to a new spot. You don't have to worry about being at half health and your team being 2v3 or 2v6 because you're down early. The other part about Swift Mend is you have to understand that you restore health while you're not taking damage. So if you're in storm or if you're getting shot at, you're not going to be restoring health. It's not going to compensate. Like, it doesn't trade. You just won't be restoring health until about, I want to say a couple seconds after taking damage, but just make sure you're aware of it so that you know you're not just getting all of this health and you're going to overcompensate your stims for this. Also, I wanted to go back on stims real quick and just talk about the fact that don't be scared to like replenish your shields and your health while you're using stim. Another thing that I see really often is that people use stim, but that's all they do. You can actually still use a weapon and you can replenish your shields and health while you're stimmed. It will slow you down a little bit, so it'd probably bring you down to like 15% faster, but you're still faster. You can get around the corner healing quickly, you can b-hop quickly, you could still do this, so keep that in mind. And lastly about stim, the other thing that's pretty cool is you can actually keep your gun out ready for a fight and still run way faster. You don't have to put it away to run faster. You actually still run faster with a gun, which is very, very useful. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is his ultimate launch pad, which has a charge time of 90 seconds and deploys a jump pad that catapults not just you, but any of your team through the air. Launch pads have about 200 health. Well, not about, they have 200 health, and you can have up to 4 launch pads on the map at once. Now, if you jump just as you make contact with the launch pad, it'll actually make you jump higher. The only issue is there is a little bit of a timing there because you will miss the launch pad altogether. I do this all the time. It's super embarrassing. Somebody actually just clipped me last night and tonight, or last night, actually just clipped me last night on Twitch, missing the launch pad like 3 times and not being able to use it, and it was really embarrassing. So a couple things I want to let you guys know about jump pad. Before we go into how to play Octane, we're going to talk a lot about launch pad. I said jump pad. Before we go into how to play Octane, where we'll talk more about launch pad, one thing that I want to say is you can throw objects and bounce them off of the pad. I know that a lot of people don't do this. I actually didn't even know about it until I started watching and reading more about Launchpad in general. But you could actually throw frag grenades, you could throw thermite grenades, arc stars, you could throw Bangalore smoke canisters, you could do pretty much anything you could throw, whether it's Nox traps, you could do Gibraltar's dome, you could do Lifeline's heal drone. Now this one you don't want to do because the drone gets launched up in the air and then you can't reach it. It is really, really annoying. You can also throw other launch pads at a launch pad and it will launch that. Mirage's decoys will bounce off just like any other real player, so you could use that. That's a cool little thing you could do. And then Wraith, actually, just so you know ahead of time, you cannot interact with the jump pad when you're using Into the Void. So now that we talked about all of his abilities and what they pretty much are, let's talk about how you, as a beginner, should be playing Octane in Apex Legends. Well, the first thing you need to know about every single legend before going into and playing them efficiently is to understand what their role actually is. Octane is a flanker and finisher. That is who he is. He is an offensive player. So when you play Octane, you want to make sure that you're using his kit to the best of that ability. So when you're using a stim, so the problem with stim is it makes you really loud. So when you're trying to sneak around somebody, it's actually better to crouch and move quieter with your team. Where he thrives is in gunfights. Because you're so loud, when you try to flank somebody in the middle of a gunfight, they're not gonna be hearing your legs running super quick. They're not gonna see the streak that's coming out behind you. They're not gonna be paying attention to that because they're gonna be paying attention to your team or another team when the fighting is happening. This is where you thrive. You can go for the wide flank, you can go for the parallel flank, you can pretty much do whatever you want, but I still recommend at all times making sure you fight as a team. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is how to use your launch pad. I see launch pad used a lot of different ways. One thing that I wanted to say is launch pad is very good for getting your team the high ground. There is only one other legend in this game that can do that, and that's Pathfinder. Now, Pathfinder is in the top tier meta. He is played very, very often, and one of the main reasons he's played so often is because end game, first of all, high ground is always the most important thing. Like, you always need to be high ground. Even I need to work at this. Like, whatever, there are so many things you can climb in Apex Legends. Climb. If you can get there somehow, some way, use a jump pad, use Pathfinder, and get up there. Now, the cool thing is launch pad will get you way higher than just climbing, and it's way faster. But at the same time, something you want to keep in mind when putting launch pad is you don't want to put it out in the open. You want to still kind of keep it hidden, and the reason why is because once you actually are in the air, you are completely still, and it is not hard to track the movement of somebody in the trajectory of launch pad. So once you're in the air, you're pretty much a sitting duck, and you're gonna get lasered a lot of the time. So don't just use launch pad. Like, for instance, if you're trying to get away, I'm actually gonna show you guys a clip of me trying to get away. I did it on purpose to show you, you just get straight lasered. You get completely destroyed, and that's not how you use it. you want to use it to get away, but what you want to do with Launchpad is you actually want to put it in corners and make sure that when you jump off of it, you're going to be covered by something. You're going to be covered by either like a mountain, a large rock, a building, and that's going to help you and your team not get lasered whenever you guys take that jump, or your team's just never going to take your jump. If you just throw it out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to notice a lot of people aren't going to take your launch pad because they know they're a sitting duck. They're not trying to get taken out, and so they just won't take it all together. The other thing is I see a lot of people using Launchpad to initiate fights. That is okay if you're not jumping right into the middle of the fight. So not only are you a sitting duck coming into the fight, but when you land, you're not able to shoot like right away. So you're stuck for a second when you land. Even if you slide, it's just not a good situation, and most of the time you're just gonna get destroyed. So if you're gonna initiate a fight, drop Launchpad earlier and then get closer to initiate the fight. But another good thing is having Launchpad for the escape routes. Whether you're trying to get away quicker or whether you're trying to get high ground quicker, it's actually good to have for those reasons. And you don't want to just use it every single time you start a fight, because then you're not going to have it when you actually need it. And a lot of the things I'm saying, guys, make sure that you understand, like, there's many ways to use every legend. I'm telling you, as a beginner, these are going to be the best ways to use Octane so that you guys stay alive longer, you know how he's supposed to be used for the most part, and you can win more games and more fights. Two more things real quick is, one, I want you guys to try this. It's actually really cool. Anytime you are in a building that you want to be blocked, like say you're holding down a building, if you put Launchpad in the doorway, watch what happens. Nobody's going to be able to get through, or it's going to be very hard for them to get through. So try that. And then the last thing I want to say is something that is very useful is having Launchpad dropped and then standing right up close to it and meleeing, which will launch you straight in the air. It won't push you forward, it won't push you backward, it launches you straight in the air, and it's really good for being in places like Skyhook where you want to survey and see if there's anybody around. You can jump up, and I'll show you how to do that in this video. And as you fall again, if you melee again and jump, this time you even go higher. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the gaming merchant who also makes Apex Legends content on YouTube, because it was actually his video that showed this and blew my mind. I had no idea that I could use this as like a surveying tactic, and it's a really good tactic. So make sure you guys check out his channel as well. He's doing a great job over there. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the tip. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. It really has just been so overwhelming, the amount of love that I've got from the Apex community that you guys are showing on the videos, showing in stream. Like I said before, I stream on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 9 p.m. PST. I would love to have you guys by the stream, whether you guys want to get down to some games, talk about the meta, talk about how you feel about Season 4, all of that good stuff. I am so with it. I am learning so much in this game. I'm getting better every day, and I'm just so excited to keep making content for you guys. If you guys feel like this content has brought you some value, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel to see weekly Apex Legends content. We're gonna try to be pushing into 2 at least videos a week, so make sure you guys subscribe and don't miss out. Please also let me know, guys, down in the comments what legends you guys want to see a guide for next. I did Octane actually based off of a Twitter poll where you guys said Octane was the next hero you wanted to see, or legend I should say, and so here we are with Octane. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next. If you guys want me to cover something else having to do with Apex Legends, and overall what you thought about the video, I would love to know your guys' thoughts, even if you disagree with me. I really just love talking about it, so no matter what you have to say, I'd love to see it down in the comments below. And before I leave, I want to tell you guys about the amazing community we have on Discord. If you guys want to build your Apex community with more people, we have people from console and people from PC that are in there. Make sure you guys join the Discord. All the links that you guys need will be down in the description below. I would love to have you guys over there. I'm really trying to build the Apex community. I came from an Overwatch background, and a lot of my friends play Overwatch, but I'm also excited for all of the new friends I've been playing Apex Legends with. I can't wait for what's to come, and I'll see you guys in there. You guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.